everybody, my name is Kate and welcome to my channel, Trinergy Awakens Naturally. We're on the road to go visit the horses this morning, so of course I got a download on my way as I was going to be on my way here, and I wanted to share it with you because I thought it was so cool. That let's talk about our purchasing power, and I don't mean this in the literal sense of how much money you have. I mean, how much equity are we building in our own selves, right? How much do we have in our karmic bank or our dharmic bank, however you look at that? How much do we have in our energetic bank, and how much are we depositing versus how much are we withdrawing? And so sometimes what I can do with myself is look at the priority of the things that I'm saying. Do I want to be in a better mood? Do I want to be in a better space? Do I wish to be feeling really good and at peace with myself and my world? Do I really want to be attracting, things that are like me, and I'm keeping a kind of foul idea in my mouth, or in my mind? Then I look at it as if, okay, Kate, every time you have a thought that is snarky, judgy, cynical, critical, anything along those lines, that costs $1. And I start looking at it from that standpoint of, okay, then let's talk about how much it's going to cost if every single time, sort of like in the old days, whenever we had the curse word jars, if anybody had them. I never actually bothered to have one because I didn't have quarters to donate anyway. I just donated my curse words a lot. But if you think about that concept, that every time you have a swear word jar and you swear, you would put a quarter, $1 or whatever, and sometimes people find that they're $100 in. And it's the same concept. And in this download, it was helping me this morning to understand, excuse me, that is your purchasing power. We are casting spells, if it were to be understood that way. We are casting spells. We are spelling out into the universe with our mouth what it is that we want, or what it is that we believe, the value that we hold, the priorities that we have, and the intentions that we carry. We are carrying the vibration of whatever that is, and that is what we are telling and spelling into the universe. We're casting out and saying, excuse me, yeah, that will never work. Okay, that's $1. That's $1's worth of energy that could be going towards building up the intention to be in a winning position, whatever we consider winning to be, versus taking away from our karmic bank account, or our dharmic, however you look at it, the balance, okay? We can consider that we're making a withdrawal. And when we let other people tell us nasty stuff about ourselves, and we actually believe that, and we run with it, and then we get all upset and embroiled in it, we let them make a withdrawal as well. And when we're throwing it out there to somebody else, excuse me, we're actually thieving from their bank account. It's a lot of very deep, intensive work to have to look at ourselves at that level. However, that is where we gain our spiritual sovereignty, our emotional sovereignty, and our energetic sovereignty, which allows us to have an endless supply in our bank, our dharmic karmic bank. It allows us to have an endless supply. And where we've been imbalanced and in karmic situations, we can actually transform, transmute, and transcend, alchemize a lot of it by changing what we're spelling into the universe, by changing our intentions, changing the mindset of, I am going to choose with my sovereignty to not allow myself to make a withdrawal from my own bank account to buy something that really doesn't build me anything. Does it help me build anything sustainable, anything that's going to be here in 3 minutes, much less 3 decades? Is this thought or this comment or this purchase of something kind of low vibe and a negative, is it going to purchase me something that is sustainable and believable and that I can actually draw upon for comfort, relief, soothing, compassion, kindness, forgiveness, allowance, joy, fun, any of that? Is this thought, this intention, this action that I'm taking, is it going to help me get there some way? And if it's not, then what's something else that I can replace that with? Instead of withdrawing $1, how about I change my mind? And at a minimum, how about I stop the withdrawal? And if I can't put a deposit right back in, excuse me, it's awfully dry and my throat is kind of scratchy, so if I can't put an actual deposit in right away, then can I come back and say, okay, I understand that I was feeling very snarky and it actually harms me. Never mind, I'm thieving off the joy of somebody else. Excuse me, vicariously enjoying an ego run. Never mind that for the moment. Then how can I help me? What can I do? And how can we balance that out by coming back and saying, I'm really sorry that I allowed myself to make a withdrawal. allowed myself to carelessly spend what is really an endless supply. However, whenever I don't know that, it's a very terminal supply. We can have a terminal supply, an endless supply of karmic stuff. We can create imbalance all day long. It's sort of like charging up your karmic credit card forever, never, 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 never. However, there comes a point at which payment is due, and we don't always know. You know, with our credit cards, we know what day of the month they're due, and we know exactly how much is due. But when we're out charging blindly, blithely, and mindlessly, we are charging up energy that it has to balance. That's the law of the universe. It isn't the universe taking it out on people personally that it's personal and you, Kate, deserve this more than somebody else. If I've been charging up my karmic credit card, I have to pay my debt, period. I can't expect to have somebody else, something else, or some other way of grace. The grace period already came and left. Then it's time for me to pay up, and I don't get to say, unfortunately, that's not how it works. I don't get to say when payment is due. I just know that when I'm getting kind of brought to my knees with something, oh, where is it that you overspent? Where is it that you withdrew from, you know, the bank here and really weren't standing on some very good intention or some very, you know, nice integrity and truth? Where is it that you were misaligned, that you overextended yourself here? And how can you go back and change that? And a major part of clearing up the debt, in my humble opinion and in my very real experience, has been in acknowledging the fact that the debt is there. Turning a blind eye and going, la 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 la. Yeah, I've seen grown people do that, you know, trying to have a truthful conversation like, what? You know, and I understand it, because a lot of us, we don't want to have to face the fact that we've got $50 million in credit card debt or in karmic debt. We don't want to have to acknowledge that. However, it doesn't change the fact that, you know, we have it. It doesn't change the fact that when we run up a credit card and then we just keep running away from the bill, it affects our credit card, or excuse me, our credit standing, right? And it affects our credit standing in Karma Land as well. Now, just like the credit bureau it isn't personal, okay? It isn't personal. The credit bureau is just a machine. It isn't personal. It gets real personal out here when we have to tell, you know, someone we're trying to borrow a loan for a car or something. It gets very personal when somebody says your credit is ridiculous, get out of here. However, the bureau itself, the system itself, is not personal. Neither is karma, neither is balance, neither is natural law. It's like saying that gravity is personally getting you if you trip and fall. No, under the same circumstances, anybody else would trip and fall the same. So it's not personal. It's a matter of how well are we using the law, how well are we using the system. And I like to stay out of that credit bureau system where I'm on the upside down of it. And the way that I stay on the right side of it is to contribute credit back into that system of karma/dharma. Contribute back into it as many times a day, proactively, preemptively. It keeps me out of the business of shopping blindly in places where I'm buying bullshit that doesn't matter. It's not sustainable. This is not helping me build something other than my ego. My ego is a construct that isn't going to build anything out here. It's just a fantasy of what I believe myself to be, that I'm better than that person, and how dare they say that to me, or I should, you know, be having this instead of them, or whatever the issue is inside of me. That when I'm buying that, when I'm purchasing that, I'm purchasing a non-entity. I'm purchasing nothing of value that will actually sustain me. Whereas when I'm purchasing other things, kindness, gratitude, appreciation, empathy, compassion, allowance, acceptance, forgiveness, etc., and very strict boundaries about how to do that, when I'm purchasing those ideas, those concepts, those statements, and I'm using my mouth in a very mindful way to create that energy, I'm pouring into my karmic credit card, my dharmic card. I'm pouring into that by saying, this is what is most important to me. Pardon me, I'm trying to see where I am. Thank you. This is what's most important to me. This is where my priority is. It didn't look right. I drive by here all the time and it just didn't look right. So excuse me, and keep going with what I'm knowing, right? Just keep going, even if it doesn't look right. Keep going with what you do know is right. No matter how it looks funky on the way, if I know the way, then keep going that way. So no matter whether I'm happy about something or not happy about something isn't the point. It's how am I going to deal with that? How am I going to deal with something? Am I going to go out and, you know, charge up my credit card in a blind way? I'm going to, you know, go purchase things that make me feel better in the moment and don't actually bring me to any place of real, true, solid standing foundation. It doesn't bring me anything that, you know, I'm gonna have. I can promise you that every time I ever shopped, you know, to make myself feel better, I don't have any one of those things. I never have had any one of those things that I ever bought. I couldn't even tell you things that I know I went out on a shopping spree, you know, same in the running my mouth department about that person, blah, 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 same exact thing, that none of those things are here with me today. None of the words that I ever said that made me feel better about putting someone down, calling them a butthole, and just, you know, they're a jerk, blaming people and assigning it and getting it all good, you know, the story. Not one of those interactions in my own mind or with anybody else where I was talking trash and holding some nasty in my mouth about anything, none of that is anything tangible to me today. Not one thing. All it was a drain on me, a drain on whoever was willing to sit there and listen to me. And even if I'm by myself, it's a drain on me, and I deserve better than that, and so does anybody else that would understand that we deserve better. To understand our own sovereignty means I have an endless credit card that doesn't have to be tied up with that bullshit, because that bullshit doesn't buy anything. It purchases vacuum. It purchases us in, you know, a void that doesn't produce anything back that we really want. You know, if talking smack about somebody, if holding hate in my heart, if all of that purchased me something really great out here, then I'd say, okay, then I misunderstand the system. However, it doesn't. It purchased me a lot more heartbreak, a longer spin in the flat spin of and being tied up with people who were doing the same exact thing. And it's hard to get out of those karmic loops. It's hard to get out of that, you know, the pattern of the mind, the ingraining of that pattern in the mind. The brain has neural pathways, and when we grind that one in and we're in a whole groove of like, it can be hard to get out of it. However, the same as with credit card debt, when I'm ready to get very clear and honest with myself and the credit bureau about, yeah, I'm going to stop dipping out and avoiding this and trying to claim bankruptcy again, emotional bankruptcy, energetic bankruptcy, wow, there's a whole herd of pronghorns. Those are amazing. I keep thinking I'm going to be able to stop and get a picture of them, and I'm never in a position that I can. They look like antelope, however, they're pronghorns, and they're completely 1221. They're a completely different animal. Not an antelope. They run really fast, but there's a whole herd of them, and they're always there. So anyway, when I'm ready to get honest and stop going la 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 and pretending like I'm not in debt up to my eyeballs, and we all carry some debt to some degree, let's be honest, because nobody's perfect. We're human, and to be here, there's just a certain level of collective debt that we're going to carry in karma land. So if we are ready, and when we are ready to get honest about where we are with that, get honest with the Cosmic Credit Bureau about, yeah, I'm ready to get honest about this, then we make those tiny ass payments. We make a $1 payment, you know. Making a $1 payment is a conscious movement towards I am ready to face the fact that I'm in debt to begin with, and I'm ready to start doing something about that right now. I'm not avoiding it anymore. 1313, thank you. So we're suggesting and saying, we're spelling out into the universe that, I think I just spit, that get so upset and uptight and all excited I spit, that the juices of life, that we're telling the universe and we're spelling out to the universe that, okay, I'm willing to admit that I'm there, and I'm willing to admit that I had debt, and I'm willing to say, let's fix this right now. And I might be able to play bigger, harder, faster, longer, stronger, etc. later. However, right now, I'm willing to give $1 and leave out the whole portion of it. Well, somebody else would say I should give. No, we're supposed to do what we need to do, and we start answering the call in a crawl, then that's fine. At least answer the whoopee, answer the call, answer the ding dong of, hey, universe is calling, ding dong, do you want to answer the door? Then yes, get with it then and do more, and do more by a donation of $1 or a contribution, a sacrifice, whatever you call that, of $1 into the system of, I understand where I've been, excuse me, abusing my credit, so to speak, then we're fixing it. And it's not personal. It's not like, you know, we have to crawl and beg and, you know, beseech, etc. If that's what we have to do, I guess that's what we think we have to do, but we don't truly have to. We can take it at a crawl pace. However, we don't have to be in a lowly position believing that we're a worm because we abused our credit card. Every one of us has an issue with learning how to deal with our mouth, how to use it, and how we've already purchased stuff that really wasn't all that great, especially when we involved our hands in it. So it's not like anybody else is better or worse. We just utilize our resources differently. And as we're learning that, we can leave out the whole shame component and stop talking to people who want to do that because they're purchasing something that we probably don't want to purchase. So on that note, it's time for me to go and get next to my horses and find out what's new to know today. I hope that you enjoy your day no matter what part of the day you're in. It's 28 degrees right now and it's a cold one. So I'm looking forward to spending time with my friends out there and get a nice big warm horse hug right chest to chest. They're great for that. So anyway, I hope that you're enjoying your day no matter what temperature it is, and whatever part of the day you're in, get within your skin because you're divine. It's absolutely fine. It's the ultimate credit bureau, karmic credit bureau, dharmic credit bureau. It's the ultimate energetic credit bureau and can help you build your credit, and you can help destroy it all you want to. However, the credit bureau is there just to monitor the system, and there are absolutely advisors all over the place that can help you figure out how to build your credit. They all live within you. So take care of yourself and do what you do and get inside because you're divine. Absolutely fine. Take care, and I will see you again next time. Mwah! Goodbye, my beautiful friends.